Hi, Bob Baker here with a short video clip to answer a simple question. What is indie? It's a term that we hear bounced around a lot these days. You hear about indie music and indie films and even indie authors. And I consider myself, in fact, to be an indie author, an indie book publisher. But what is the definition of indie? Well, many people think of it as a reference to a musician or small record label, film company, an author without an affiliation with a major corporation. And that is true, but I believe it has a much deeper meaning than that. And by the way, indie is an abbreviation for the longer word independent. The correct spelling of it is I-N-D-I-E. So there's an I-E at the end as opposed to indie spelled this way, which is actually a reference to like Indiana or Indianapolis. And so the correct spelling, I-N-D-I-E. So let's just get rid of this thing with my groovy little eraser there. So when I think of indie, it's more than just a simple surface level reference to your financial backing. I believe it's a state of mind and a way of life that you must bring to your entire pursuit of music or books or film or art. And so the best way to explain my angle on this is to use an acronym. So here's my definition of indie, with every letter standing for a separate concept. So let's start with the I. Here we go. If you can excuse my penmanship here. The I stands for inspired. Now, to embrace the indie frame of mind, you must be inspired. You have to know in your gut that your music or your art, your talent is what you're meant to do, and you must become energized when writing, recording, and performing your music or whatever it is that you do creatively. So hopefully this is something you already experience fully without having to force yourself to feel that way. Now, when this kind of natural inspiration comes over you, it's a sure sign that you're on the right path, and you will need this desire to carry you through the ups and downs that you will surely encounter as you pursue the arts on your own terms. So let's move on to the N. One of the longer words here. See if I can squeeze it all in. This is a pretty groovy little tool. So the N stands for, as you can see, non-traditional. So indie people don't mind learning about what has come before. They're happy to listen to the rules that others say are required to have a successful career. However, the smartest indie artists keep their minds flexible and constantly question whether the supposed rules of the past really apply to them. They actually develop a mindset that seeks out the road less traveled. And when they spot a good idea that's off the traditional path, they fearlessly go after it without apologies. Now on to the D. Great penmanship here. I'm so proud of myself. Determined. That's right. Successful indie artists are fixated on their goals and determined to reach them. Then they leave room to veer from the original plan when needed. You need to be flexible. But they are steadfast in their desire to produce great music and art, to reach fans, to sell more merchandise, etc. With this attitude, obstacles become short-term learning experiences along the road to higher levels of success. I wonder what the I stands for. The second I, that is. And you'll notice I did not use the word independent with either of these I's. Innovative is this one. Being indie means thinking outside of the proverbial box and looking at fresh opportunities from every angle. It means not promoting yourself the same way 1,000 other creative people have done it. It means being resistant to knee-jerk marketing tactics and being open to new ideas and overlooked avenues for exposure. And finally, the E. All right, empower, a word that I like a lot. Indie artists don't wait for someone or something else to come along and rescue them. They don't pray for a lucky break or to be discovered. They know to the core that the power to succeed with their talent resides inside of them. And they understand that it's their mission to tap into that personal power and use it to share their gifts with the world. So let's recap my definition of indie. It's to be inspired, non-traditional, determined, innovative, and empowered. Being indie has nothing to do with what company you are or are not affiliated with. It has everything to do with how much you take control of your own life and take steps to build the kind of creative career that you deserve. I'm Bob Baker. Thanks a lot for listening and for watching.